Hi. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you who have stuck through this series of video projects that I have been making recently. And for that, you have my sincere gratitude. So, thank you. Well, for this particular video, I would like to talk about the utility of diplomacy in dealing with your resentment. Well, one's resentment can usually take the form of aggression, which may be regulated or unregulated in nature, that one expresses in their social environments that they do not prefer to be in. Unregulated aggression can be expressed two ways. It can be directed outward or it can be directed inward towards oneself. In cases where it is directed inwards, can cause things like self-harm or say depression. In cases of where your aggression is directed outward, can cause a person to random outbursts of anger or just shouting at someone because they felt that they were wronged in some way. Now, unregulated aggression just escalates issues. Not that I'm demeaning the situation by just calling them issues. What I'm trying to say is it escalates the situation from what it could have been solved by taking well, it's not really something easy to solve, is it? Anyway, so, well, one of the way in which people usually regulate their aggression is through humor. So through humor, people can progress or divulge what they want to say without, or at least by minimizing the chances of offending someone. And people will not take it seriously, or will at least pretend not to take it seriously because it's a joke and it's accepted that it is a joke, and well, people will move on, or in some cases they might not. Well, anyway, One of the other forms of humor that can be a little problematic in your social situations, especially as one is going through the young adult into the adult phase, would be sarcasm. Because, well, when you are 15 or 16, well, no one is taking you seriously or what you have to say seriously either in normal instances or in the usual scenario. However, once you are 20, or that is when you start noticing the change in the behavior of the people around you. So as you go from 20 and you progress to 21, 22, 23, well, people are still not taking you seriously, but they are listening to what you have to say, and they are really paying attention. Though you may not feel that you are being taken seriously, or well, people don't really want to take you seriously, or at least the adults, but they are listening closely and they are taking into account what you have to say. So it's a kind of tricky situation. And of course, once you move into adulthood, then people are taking you seriously all the time. What you say, how you behave, how you act, what you say, it kind of becomes unpardonable in society. So, if you are not adept at socializing, a skill that is, well, quite important to have for an adult to function well in society, or even a young adult, then things can get a little problematic because you fail on picking up on social cues and thereby sometimes missing out on opportunities that the world has to offer you. Well, of course, there is a way which we can bypass having these social skills that we have somehow been deprived of. And the way to go about it is the art of diplomacy. And I call diplomacy an art is because diplomacy by nature does not really have a fixed definition. It's more of a definition appointed to it by social scientists, you could say. It's not like it has hard and fast rules that govern its functioning, or it's not like it has theorems that you could prove, or any laws that it follows. It's more of an art form. But at the heart of this art form is the idea of propagating one's own beliefs and interests in society in a more respectable and respectful manner. expressing oneself in a diplomatic manner can prevent catastrophic reactions or a visceral reaction. Being diplomatic allows you to express your aggression. It helps you regulate it in a more acceptable form in society, where the level of aggression is okay to express, and people understand that more at a subconscious level. And also, it does not escalate the situation. And it also helps you by preventing further resentment from building inside of you. So the idea is that, well, diplomacy is an art form that is used in case of international relations, right? So how do you apply it in your day-to-day activities? You could say, we are not representing a country. And I would say to you, think of yourself as a country and think of the other person as a country as well. A country with its own beliefs, perhaps its own language, its own values, its own ideas of what is acceptable and what is not. And by treating yourself and the other person as a country can open up dialogue between the two parties in a more neutral setting. Well, as children, we were not really concerned about these things. We either had a extremely positive experience, in which case we became good friends really fast, or a negative experience, well, which we just forgot about and continued to play. However, as we become adults, we start taking things around us seriously and having an initial high positive or a high negative interaction could prove disadvantageous and is not a very good long-term strategy. And of course, in this case, I'm assuming that you are deprived of being well socialized when you were younger. Well, having a positive impact can be beneficial. However, if you are being diplomatic, you start from a neutral ground and you can steadily build and take it in a more positive direction. It builds slowly over time, where you are trying to understand the other person's nature and the way they think that can be worlds apart from you. This can also give you the chance to understand and communicate with someone from a completely different cultural background. And so as you move, you can be in control as to how you would like your relationship to progress in this case. And well, I'm not asking you to be diplomatic all the time with this person. It's not like you're actually representing a country. I just asked you to act like you would. And gradually, you can start opening up and testing the waters. So you move slowly, and sometimes you could falter and it moves back, but again you can recalibrate, and then again you move slowly and slowly. And this way, one can build a better and more stable relationship through time. And I could say that this would perhaps be the best way of making friends as an adult as well. You know, you can't just be friends anymore just because you're wearing the same matching t-shirt. Well, diplomacy allows you to negotiate ideas with one another in a more civilized manner. It is, or it can be called, one of the best tools you can have in your shed. However, I would offer you a word of caution against the implementation of diplomacy in your more intimate relationships, like with parents, for example. If you were to go about spouting this diplomacy things with your parents, it would not really serve the purpose well, because you already know these people for a longer time. And so in this case, I implore you to embrace being more authentic. Well, it is a space in which you are kind of allowed to make mistakes. Well, Well, this art can take quite some time to get used to and master. It's a lifelong process. That requires self-awareness and self-calibration. Well, I do suggest you watch people who are good at it and practice it and implement it. And because of this, you may be misunderstood sometimes. And can cause people not to like you very much. But hey, even if you don't, there will always be people who do not favor you for some reason or the other. So it is no reason to deter you from helping yourself integrate your shadow into your personality. That can help you become more formidable. Done.